we started to forget about them until you brought up Franciscaner.
Wasn't even part of
There was a moment. There was a moment that I was like, oh yeah, like you want like something like a light pilsner, like Franciscaner, like where the fuck they are.
Yeah,
you know
what
I mean, like, but with so many different like forms of media or streams of media and different like inputs of just information inputs that are out there. There's just so much to be able to choose from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be like grog.
No, but
some of these beers, it's just gonna be like grog, and
I
say grog, and somebody's gonna hear this podcast and go, "What the fuck is grog?" And it's like, exactly, what the fuck is grog?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But go ahead and Google it. Go ahead, take a moment. But that's what grog is. That's what grog. But the thing is that, and then some of these old styles are, they're just gonna go away, and then it leads away to more of a creative nature as far as these things go. And even again with the seltzer, it was like, even for me and all of us, we all had that like, the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And now look at us. We're like, damn, we can make some money off of it and drink it, and it's good for you. I think.
I mean, less sugar. It's
like
light.
you were saying earlier. This is not true.
Yeah.
What did you say earlier?
That's not why you chose it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's the
It's
afterthought.
an easy cop out, right?
Yeah, easy cop out. Exactly. I'm drinking it because I'm trying to watch my figure. It's totally cool, bro. Totally cool, bro. Trying to lose some lbs.
I'm gonna drink 3 more than I normally would because I'm watching because it can.
It's wild though. There's
and it is in a can.
No bitterness, no aftertaste, no. I mean, little carbonation, right? You might get a little bloated, but it's not heavy. It's not syrupy.
Yeah, no. It's definitely a beach favorite now.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Did we tell Truly that they're welcome and White Claw that they're welcome already? Hey guys, you're welcome. Truly and White Claw.
Yeah.
we are talking so great about you guys.
They're
right
like,
now.
damn, we didn't even pay them to say anything.
I feel like we're gonna get a check just gonna show up one day. We're like, oh, okay, cool, thanks guys.
Shout out.
ECSC will be sponsored by White Claw.
Yeah.
I mean, if it isn't this year, it better be next year.
Yeah.
That would make so much sense.
It's a wave, right?
Yeah. Hey.
Steve, you said you guys sold what? How much White Claw?
Oh God! I mean, so we just started selling White Claw this
I
weekend.
kind of like on this White Claw.
And,
Let's do it. I love
and we
it.
went through over 35 cases this weekend. I mean, one person found out about it. We didn't have a single poster up. No signs.
Lit a fire.
Just lit a fire. And everyone off their boats like, oh shit, I was just drinking this on my boat. Let me have one now. Actually, no, at 5. I've got a bunch of people with me. Word.
Yeah.
You got it. Absolutely. Black cherry or mango. Both. Okay.
Mix it, make a fucking cocktail out of it.
But it's wild, man. Like, I literally, I mean, every time people came up, they were ordering, 5, 6 at a time. And I'm like, let me go get another case. 10 minutes later, I need another case. Like, sorry, guys. But yeah, no, they're popular.
So I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna get us out of the White Claw land. Let's get out of White
Let's
Claw.
get out of White Claw.
Oh man, it's hypnotizing. So as far as beer goes, what would you say your progression of beer as far as your palate goes?
Oh man. Let's see. I started drinking wheat beers when I just first started drinking beer. Of course, like domestic beer is what everyone around here tries for the first time.
Teenagers, we passed Blue Ribbon, Natural Light, and then we're like, this is a beer. Got it.
But then I always had kind of older friends, and so there was a time where, like, right when I had gotten to college, I had some older friends that could buy beer, and they'd bring beer, and I think the first wheat beer I ever tried was a Whitaker.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And it was so smooth, and it had a sweetness to it, not like, Budweiser and Keystone Light like I had been drinking before.
Yeah, Keystone. Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, Keystone.
Keystone is so smooth.
Lockjaw Keystone.
The 30 rack, right?
Yeah, man, 30 racks. Oh man.
And I was like, damn, what is this? Like that, and that was the first moment I can remember. Like, whoa, this is not what I'm used to drinking.
Right.
This is good. And so then I sought that style out, sort of beginning. And I remember Shock Top was kind of cool there for a while. Blue Moon is still on fire.
Yeah.
People love Blue Moon. People love Blue Moon. But wheat beers is really what I started. I didn't go right for the IPAs.
Yeah.
It was kind of just before, everyone started drinking IPAs.
Right.
So I wasn't really, in the mix right when everyone was on fire. With
Right,
it. So
yeah.
I sort of eased into it little by little. And I didn't even know what I was drinking at the time.
Right.
Coming into it, I'm like, IPA, yeah, but I'm not, 10 years ago, I'm not thinking of names or trying to remember breweries or any of that.
Right.
I'm just like, oh, this is cool. This is bitter. What is this?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, 10 years ago, you're still looking at, I remember any restaurant you went to or bar, they had the stapled 6 beers, and then there was 1 or 2 craft beers.
Yeah.
And one of them was usually a Sam Adams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that was like the one craft beer that was on tap.
It was like the draft beer kit. You got Sam Adams, Stella, Blue Moon, Bud Light, Miller Lite, and maybe Coors.
Yeah.
And then if you're really
Yuengling.
lucky,
Maybe Yuengling.
maybe Guinness is on tap.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember that was the cool guy beer.
Right,
Yeah.
I
yeah.
was like, oh, that dude drinks Guinness. Oh,
That's
He's
I
a
guess
hard
it's-
ass.
he knows what's up.
Yeah. He's gonna kick everybody.
Yeah.
He's getting on his Harley right after this.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably Irish.
No,
That's great.
Oh, yeah.
That is 10 years ago, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
Fucking
yeah.
time machine. I feel that right now.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah. And then Fat Tire.
But
Yeah,
so
yeah, Fat
true.
Tire.
Yeah, that was
Fat
the
Tire
cool
was-
guy.
Oh, yeah.
Fat Tire was huge too.
Yeah, Fat Tire was huge. I still love Fat Tire.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
You guys make you want to drink a beer.
Yeah.
I know. I was
Well,
like, man, we
so-
should have brought some in today.
I would say with your progression, that's the same as me. It was like, shit, domestic beer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
Whatever you could afford,
and then
right?
a wheat beer, and then I was like, oh shit, this is different. You know what I mean? And then you did feel that feeling of like, okay, I'm a little different now. I'm drinking something. I'm not drinking what all these idiots are drinking now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then you progress, and then I think I went into like stouts, or like I went to like it was like I think it's like the proper progression. It's like amber ales, then into browns, and then to stouts, and I was like, oh shit, this is a fucking 10% stout. Like I love this beer, and then Belgians, and then IPAs. Man, I just couldn't fucking do it for the longest time.
Yeah.
It took a while.
And then something happened. That's all I fucking drink now.
I think of it like kind of like coffee. The first time you have coffee, you're like, oh, what is this?
5 pounds of sugar.
Yeah. But then you,
yeah. Right. Yeah.
but then you get a buzz from it, right? And
Yeah.
then like you sort of create that connection in your mind. So you're like, oh yeah, I'm associating this bitterness with the coffee
Yes,
buzz.
that's right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Same thing with IPAs.
Yeah.
It's 7 or 8%. You drink one, and then now your mind's making that association, like, oh, bitter means buzz. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get drunk.
I like this
Yeah.
one more than the other ones. This
Yeah.
one works better. Yeah.
But it's interesting. So I've heard of a few beers lately that have come out, and forgive me, I forget the names, but the IBUs are really low.
Yeah.
Like 15.
Yeah, you can get down to 0
That's wild to me.
for IPA.
Because traditionally, I'm just thinking like, oh, it's got to be in the 30s or
Yeah.
40s, but
For IPA.
not anymore.
Yeah.
for an IPA, 15 bitter net units. Yeah.
So
wow.
for those that are listening that don't know what the IBU is, what the fuck is an IBU?
Bitterness unit.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. So how bitter something is, you can sort of rate it with a number and tell before you crack open the beer what you're getting yourself into.
Okay.
So if you're someone who doesn't like bitterness, you want to look for a beer with a low IBU number. Or if you enjoy that bitterness, you're going to look for the higher IBUs. So some people are masochists and they love bitterness.
Right.
No, literally, yeah. People will come in and be like, "What's the highest IBU?"
Yeah.
That you
Yeah.
have.
What did
Okay.
we have?
Stick in the head.
We had a palate
Yeah, you're saying.
Palate wrecker.
record.
That's where you just slap them in the face. There you go.
Here's a hot one. Chew on that.
Yeah. Like you're gonna hit in the face when you drink this beer. Like,
So I'm
it's
just
gonna hit me
warming
in the
you
face.
up.
Like, no, they asked me to hit you. That's
Some
that's
of
how we
those.
drive this up.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is gonna hurt.
Yeah. Some of those, it's like, with those, like the palate wrecker. You don't like that.
No.
There's no way you like that.
Arrogant bastard.
You're
Come on.
fucking lying.
So we were
You're
talking
fucking
about
lying.
like how
Yeah.
Guinness was
American
the
Bastard, yeah.
cool guy
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Now living in San Diego, like the IPAs were everywhere.
Yeah.
And it became a thing as a bartender where that was a question when people would come in because it was a test of manliness.
Yes.
And it would be like,
Yeah.
what is your strongest, most IBU'd beer?
Absolutely.
And you're like, really, man? Like, come on. Like,
fucking fight
are you
everybody.
trying to just fuck your stomach right now?
Yeah, it does. That shit'll wreck you, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've had regulars come back, and not to dissuade anyone from drinking IPAs because I still love them.
Yeah, me too.
But I've had friends like it definitely messes with your stomach.
Yeah.
Like they've gone to the doctors and they're like, I can't drink IPAs anymore.
Yeah, my
Because of how it affects your intestinal tract. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, my brother-in-law Ben, like we would brew IPAs all the time, and then recently he's pulled back. I mean, he could drink the all days, but not as you can't drink those hard hitting IPAs anymore, like
Right.
at all. Like the acid reflux and like all that stuff is just way
Right, and I'm
too
not
much.
saying if you're drinking one.
Yeah,
But, like, if you traditionally go out and you're having 4 or 5,
Yeah.
that's going to mess you up a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
That's a tough night out.
It's a hell of a hangover too.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna wake up tomorrow and just not be happy at all.
Mm-hmm.
First IPA you pour, you smell it, and you're like, fuck.
Speaking of beer, Ben brewed. He's got an IPA brewing right now.
Does it?
Yeah, and he's got the strawberry blonde working right now too,
Oh,
which
yeah?
is pretty dope. Yeah, so we can't. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try some of that.
I mean, that's
I have to.
quality
Strawberry-
assurance.
I can have a
strawberry
couple.
blonde.
Strawberry blonde.
It's old school, man.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. I'm looking forward to that because it's been a while.
It's been a while.
Mhm.
How long has it been since you?
Like almost 2 years.
Evan had Evan talked about Kung Brew.
Yeah.
So Evan had Evan was gonna run and start a brewery called Kung Brew.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, so I'll do it fast because we've done this before in the past. So I'll do like the elevator pitch for this. But so what happened was like traveling around for Yard House. It was like, oh, look at this American Dream thing. Everybody's doing it, and it was so neat to see like brothers and cousins and dad and son and or just two friends like popping these breweries up. So got my mind spinning, and then we just started brewing beer, and then we went fucking crazy with it. Or we got a brew kit, and then we had to buy we kept buying carboys. So we have 12 carboys in the house just all working. At first we brewed 10 gallons of beer. We hadn't even let it ferment properly yet. The next weekend we brewed another 15 gallons. And then so before we actually even tasted our first beer, we had I think 8 carboys just working.
Wow.
Like we just lost our fucking mind.
Just went all in.
Yeah, it's like fuck it, let's go. Let's
Full tilt.
Keep buying shit. And, just keep buying more shit because it was like we made the first two batches. It was like, what are we gonna do next weekend? And it's like, fucking let's buy some more shit and make some more beer. But and then, so the great thing I remember opening it with the first beer we made was amber. We called it Space Panda Amber Ale. And so it was Space Panda Amber Ale. The two we made was Space Panda Amber Ale and then Mad Panda Irish Red Ale. So I remember we were popping the beers. Like we did the old school bottle fermenting and all that stuff, or bottle carbonation. So we popped the beer and we're like, fuck man, I hope this shit tastes good. And we drank it and it was like, this is fucking awesome, let's drink more.
That is awesome.
And then we were sold. I think if that first beer came out like shit, it would never would have happened. But so from then on, we ended up brewing upwards of, just under 1,000 gallons within a year and a half. It was fucking insane.
So much beer.
Yeah.
Weekends at Evans.
Yeah, we fucking brewing gallons of beer,
Fucking
10
cookouts
to 20. You have cookouts while we're doing it. And then so we met with an investor and all this and that, but it just didn't work out. But it made down the road, which is a good thing.
Wow.
But the strawberry blonde was like the fucking
The hit.
That was the ringer.
Yeah, so it was a joke. So my friend, was it Destiny? No, was it Destiny? At Yard House, but she was like, "Can you do a girl's beer or something like that?" She's like a strawberry blonde. I was like, "Yeah, cool, why not?" And so we did it, and the keg just was gone. The 5 gallons was just gone within the night. And then so we're like, "Well, fuck, we're now we'll do a 10 gallon batch." And then so we did that. We bottled some. We gave away to friends, and people were like, "Hey, can I buy a 6-pack of that?" And it's like, well, not legally, but I'll give you this too, and you give me some cash, I guess. I guess that's the same thing, right? Whatever. Fuck it, I'll do it. Yeah. So,
Just leave it on the floorboards.
yeah, just leave it here. We're not gonna exchange at this point. We'll get it from you later. But so people were buying it, and then it was pretty neat, man. And then, then we just stopped brewing, and it was I had a daughter. Life got a hold of us, and then he brewed a week and a half ago, I think, about a week ago. But he was like, dude, this was fucking the most incredible thing. Because it's been almost 2 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So he just said, fuck it. And we had the equipment, and he moved into a new place. And because he moved into a new place, all the equipment had to get pulled out of storage. And it's right there looking at him. And he was like,
Getting the band back together.
fuck it, man. Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. I feel like there's going to be a brew day coming up soon.
Nice.
Yeah, so it'll be fun.
Nice.
And then, when these beers are done, I'll make sure you get
No, absolutely. I'd love to try
a
that.
couple
strawberry
samples.
blonde.
Yeah, it's fun.
That is cool. Just trying to think of any random things that happened this past week at work.
Ooh, I was going to bring something up.
Yeah.
Speaking of, so there is the possibility, can I talk about the beer? The beer?
Yeah, hopefully by the time we're well,
It'll be
on our
already
way.
locked up.
Yeah,
It'll be locked up.
100%.
So here, it's just getting your opinion.
Yeah.
So speaking about, you were saying earlier about beers that are approachable,
Yeah.
all types can, get in there and have a good time with it. Not everybody can drink a hard hitting IPA.
For sure.
So we're talking about having a beer you know, a brewery do a beer for us, and basically they're going to sponsor us, and we'll push the product. But we're going to do a butterscotch blonde. Ooh. Okay, that's perfect. Ooh. That's
exactly the reaction we were looking for.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know how we're going to brew it yet, or you know what the ingredients are going to be.
Yeah, I want to put the name of the